Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am speaking with Leo Sawikin. He has just released a fantastic new track called Hold On, and I'm super excited to talk to him all about it. Leo, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to do this. How are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you so much for having me. Glad to be
You
here.
are very welcome. What's new in the life of Leo?
Not much. Just been spending the last couple of weeks getting ready for this release and getting all of our ducks in a row. Uh, just doing content and
All
uh,
the normal stuff,
yeah,
pretty much,
getting,
and balancing a life at the same time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, very cool. I mean, you've got a lot to show off here because, as I mentioned before we started recording, this song is great, and I truly mean that. I probably
Thank you.
listened to it like 4 or 5 times at this point. Um, and I never want to put words in people's mouth about what I think it's about. So I'm glad that you're here to sort of explain like the message of it all, what sparked this one.
So this song had a pretty long story. I wrote it like I wrote the music for it back in 2018.
Oh wow,
Um, and I didn't really know what to do with it for a while. And then I went to Nashville to do some co-writes, and I did a session with this artist named Lucy Isabel, and
okay,
she wrote the lyrics for it actually. Um, so we just sort of we went through. I just had the melody already in my head, so we just wrote the lyrics over the melody that I had and like
sure.
made alterations here and there just to when certain lyrics required it. But I mean, I think the song, this is one of those songs that I think can be interpreted in a lot of different ways.
Mm,
The lyrics are like not super literal, but I
okay,
think it's like the way I've always interpreted it is like I feel like it's about like knowing that you have something to offer or share and just like sort of waiting. Yeah, I think it's like about like it's about like having faith that you're gonna do something good one day, I guess.
that's kind of the impression that I got from it.
Yeah.
My first impression comes from the song title. It could mean anything, but honestly, yeah, after listening and kind of connecting the dots, I was hoping that you would say that, so I wasn't completely off base. Um, I like that, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I even think like the instrumental feels as inspiring and like optimistic as the words do. I'm sure
Oh,
that was
thank you.
purposeful.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was very influenced by the Sundays for
Okay.
this song. Um, and I was just like I was trying to make something that like felt very nostalgic and had like a real like 90s vibe to it.
Yeah, it's got that for sure. Now
Uh,
in terms of like the actual production and putting things together, how does that work on your end? Because I know obviously you operate as a solo artist, but do you have a team behind you helping out?
you mean for the production of the
Yeah,
music?
final tweaks, the mixing, mastering, all the technical
Well,
stuff.
this round of songs, I went to work with a new producer. I actually went to work with Phil Eck in
Okay,
Seattle, who yeah, I'm a big fan of albums he's done in the past.
sure.
He's done like um, Shoots Too Narrow and the Fleet Foxes debut LP. He's really
Damn.
amazing
I mean, that's
producer.
all you needed to say right there. The other
Yeah,
two of my favorite records. I'm not BSing
yeah.
around. Yeah, that's
Um,
amazing.
but I think the strength of his production just a lot of it lies in, I mean, first off, like he's an amazing engineer. He makes things sound incredible, but
Sure.
he's also just good at like getting artists to express themselves creatively and um he doesn't like project too much. Like he
Okay.
just this like he wants you to sort of figure out what to do for the song yourself. And he's just sort of
Yeah.
there to provide feedback and tell you which ideas are working and aren't working, which is a process that worked really, really well for me, I think. But yeah, so I went to Seattle, and we had a drummer and a bass player
Okay.
that he brought in. And then I played all the guitars and all the synths, and he
Very
was
cool.
he would basically just tell me what worked and what didn't work. And then he mixed everything also.
Got it.
But
I
yeah,
hear it from both sides on like the production end. It's like sometimes people are okay with the producer taking over and not necessarily making it their own, but making like definitive decisions. I
mhm.
kind of like this way though, because it sort of like pushes you in a way to make those decisions yourself and
Yeah, it does.
yeah, your name is gonna be on it. You're not hiding behind a band name there. It's all
Yeah.
you. So it's like he can only do so much, but he's also sort of acting as the other half of your brain in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that like I like albums that have been done both ways, but I
Sure.
just feel like I've never had a chance to really do a record where I'm just like where yeah, it's like I feel like it's an expression of what's in my head, and it's
Yeah.
like the maximum amount of my identity being represented in all
Yeah.
these. But I love Phil Spector, and I also love like producers who like reinvent stuff
Of
sometimes.
course.
Like I think that can be really cool too, but I think I needed to experience this, I think.
Totally. Yeah, yeah, you get to experience the whole spectrum of making music, which is
Yeah.
an ever-changing process for everybody, doesn't matter how you see it. Now your debut record came out, what, like 2 years ago at this point? So,
hmm
obviously kicking it back into high gear here, I assume that this is, like, the lead single, but what else is on the way? I hope that there's more on the way.
Yeah, I mean, I just finished recording another 4 songs with Phil
Nice.
a couple of months ago. And I have another 2 from the previous batch that we haven't released yet, but I think we're gonna release as many of these songs as we can as singles and just
Yeah.
really, draw this, just get everything we can out of this record.
As you
But
should.
yeah, lots of other things on the way.
Very cool. Yeah, I don't want you to say too much here, but obviously, like this song does pull from a lot of styles and sounds and genres. It's not just one thing, and it kind of attracts many types of listeners, which I feel like in today's music scape, like you kind of need to cast a wide net in a way. And this
Mm.
feels like that type of song, all the while keeping your own originality. So
Oh, thank you.
take that compliment, and I would love to know from you, like, how are you explaining this song to people? Like when someone asks, "This is the type of music that I'm making, and this is the type of a record to expect."
Um, you mean like how do I explain the song musically, sort of?
Sure, like what's the elevator pitch, basically?
I mean, I guess I would say like with these songs, everything is about a lot of it is about like having like this layered guitar sound, which I
Yeah.
think is leads to something that feels a little bit more indie than stuff I've done in the past.
Okay.
Um, but I, yeah, I mean, I was really like I feel like I'm going for is like somewhere in between like shoegaze and indie pop, like
Sure.
Sixpence None the Richer or something
Yeah.
like that. Like it's shimmery, but it's not like uh
It's not too polished.
it was not too polished, and like the effects aren't like turned up like that crazy.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, it's just like shimmery indie pop, I guess.
No, I
Is
think
as
that's a good way to explain it, and obviously there's no right answer. You're the person that made the music, and someone else could listen and interpret it completely different, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
part of the
the
magic of
beauty
it
of
all.
it, I think.
I fully agree. And now that you have, a full record under your belt, did you approach this one in any certain way? Like, did you take certain things that you learned from the last time and apply those this time around?
Yeah, I mean, I think um I think this time um I mean, I felt like this time I really wanted to have more of my guitars and have like the chords that when I write songs, I work really, really hard on having inversions that like get like, chords that just
Sure.
are unique sounding and also just like flow well into each other. And I really am serious about voice leading and all that. And I feel like in the past, a lot of that was sort of covered up and it wasn't like very apparent in the songs. And I felt like it kind of took the uniqueness away a little bit.
Okay.
So this time I was really focused on having that be very, very present. Um, and yeah, I just wanted it to be like I wanted it to be sort of a more I wanted to get to sort of distill everything to the essence of
Yeah,
um I'm sorry, I'm not putting this the right way right now, but
that's
I
okay.
just I wanted to kind of I wanted to keep it very stripped down in a
Sure.
way, not to like not crazy arrangements and like, kind of simple rhythm sections and nothing that was going to distract from sort of like the core of what makes these songs what they are.
No, I think that's a great answer. Truly, like, did you find that I get approached the creation of the songs differently? Like, I don't know how you were starting last time, whether it be like a lyric or a guitar riff or however, but has it changed over time, I suppose?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely well I usually like always start with chords when I'm writing, which
Okay.
some people say that that's like not always the best thing to do, but I think like
Yeah,
I mean I feel like if it works I feel like it can work sometimes. You just have
yeah.
to be flexible, and when you get a melody, you can't like hold on to specific chord ideas. But the what I did this the main difference between a lot of these songs and the previous record is I wrote these all in these open tunings that were very inspired by the Hejira record by Joni Mitchell.
Okay.
It's like it's kind of like a open D, but
Sure.
there's differences in two of the strings. For any music nerds that are listening, it's
No, people love this. I
yeah,
love this, and you might think like no one gives a shit, but they really do, I promise.
yeah. But I mean so I tuned the D string up a whole step from what it would be in drop D,
Got it.
and the um G string goes up a half step.
Got
So
it.
basically you have like a one, a five, um, a nine, and a four
Okay.
uh in every chord. And then what Joni Mitchell would do is she would like change the B and E strings so that she could have that kind of that core ninth chord and everything, but like have different textures. So in these songs, I'm basically just in different songs, I'm changing what the B and E strings are tuned to while keeping the rest of
Awesome.
the guitar tuned the same.
That
Um,
is as technical as it gets right there,
yeah,
truly.
but yeah, I
Truly.
mean, it's what it allows me to do is I can just
Yeah.
write very simple songs, and they'll automatically have an interesting texture and
Right.
um, I've worked with open tunings in the past, but I felt like these ones worked really well because there aren't a lot of thirds in the tuning, so it's just like it never gets too muddy.
Yeah.
So I feel like these specific tunings really gave me a lot of freedom, and it's that kind of although this song Hold On I wrote in standard,
Got it.
but it's similar. I felt like it kind of fit with the other songs as well.
Completely understand. And I mean, honestly, there's like a definitive amount of chord progressions. You need to mix it up in some way, and it sounds like you have,
Yeah,
which is, yeah, that's the best part.
and I do like many of my favorite songs are like very simple in terms
Yeah,
of like the actual movement of everything. Like there'll be like 3 or 4 chords or something, but I love songs that are like very, 3 or 4 chords, but each chord is very complex. And
right.
I feel like it's like I like the same thing in cooking. Like when you have a dish
Right.
that's like 2 or 3 ingredients, but when it's that simple, you can really focus on the complexity of each ingredient,
I
you
love
know?
that. No, that's so true. It's so true. And like you also have to realize that I'm just throwing this number out there. 95% of people that are listening to music, they listen to music for an escape. They don't really
Yeah.
care what what chords you used. They just
Yeah.
want to be impressed in a way, and that's all
It,
that matters at the end.
yeah, it's all about the energy and the
Right.
vibe. But I've
Peanut
always
butter and
been
jelly is simple, but it's
yeah,
delicious every time.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
But I do think like it affects, when you use chords like that, it definitely like affects what people feel, even if
Oh,
they
yeah,
even if
all the
they don't know.
emotions and stuff.
But yeah, it's like yeah, no one is gonna care like whether I use like a flat nine fifth removed chord or something
Nope,
like that.
not at all. But the ones that do will be like, damn, look at this guy go. He did it. He
Yeah.
really went for it. I love that. Um, well, we are like 2 days into May, which is basically halfway done with this year, which is wild to even say.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're there. Yeah, because I always bring this up and I'm like, hey, we're 2 months in, we're 3 months in, and it's like, damn, we're like 5 months in. Um, and you sort of detailed what's going on for the rest of this year in terms of singles and this and that, but what are some other potential plans or goals you'd like to hit? Like, are you playing shows? Is that in the works? What's on
Uh,
the horizon?
yeah, I mean, I've got right now I have one confirmed show. I usually like I'm bad about booking. Like I book
That's okay.
way too I book way too close to when I'm trying to play. But I have a
Okay,
show, I have a show on Sunday, um,
nice.
and I'm excited for. I'm trying to get this other show together for July or August, and
Okay,
I'm just sort of uh, I'm just sort of what's how do I say this? I'm like taking it like one step at a time, like just sort
sure.
of plan as I go, which I probably shouldn't do. I should really book shows
I
more in
mean, I
advance.
get that, but you're also like
Um,
in recording mode. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I'm in recording mode and release mode, and yeah, like there's a lot of distractions right now, so
okay,
I always forget to reach out to venues to book shows. But other than that, I'm going to Europe in 2 weeks, which I'm really excited about.
nice. Where to?
So I'm taking a trip from London to Frankfurt.
Cool,
Yeah, I'm gonna be there for like 2.5 weeks. I'll
nice.
take the train. Um, but
I'm in
I'm
Europe
hope,
right now.
huh?
Actually, I said I'm in Europe right
You're in
now.
Europe right now. Where in Europe are you?
I'm in Tallinn, Estonia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, random as hell, I know,
My
but
my dad goes there a lot.
really,
Yeah, he has
that's
some
wild.
business stuff over there. He says it's really nice.
It's super. I've been here for like 3 weeks, and I love it. I just like not to like interject, but yeah, I just like did bunch of press stuff for a jazz festival that was happening here.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you probably already got your trip mapped out, but if you ever come back, I highly recommend Estonia. It's such a cool
Yeah,
country.
I want to do like a Finland, Estonia trip one day.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Finland this weekend because you can take a ferry.
Oh,
You
awesome.
can take a ferry there. It's like 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
So go for the day, I suppose.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
I've never been to that part of the world before, so
it's
I've heard
different,
great.
but it's cool.
I love saunas though, so I feel like
Yeah,
would work out
exactly.
well for
Home
me.
of the sauna. Very cool. Listen, this has been an awesome conversation. I just have one more question for you at this point.
Okay.
Basically, I want to know, like, for the person that's going to discover you from this, for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message you'd like to say to them?
Hmm. Let me think. Like like in terms of like how would I like advertise the music, or like sort of like more
I've heard
like
everything.
emotional message?
You could be like, "Hey, hello, hope you enjoy this," or you could just, set expectations in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, I really hope that you enjoy the music, and it's just like a lot of these songs are just about sort of finding yourself, and um changing, and just knowing that uh yeah, I mean, the songs are just
Yeah,
about transformation and this batch of songs is about reinventing yourself.
sure.
So if you're in that stage of life right now, I think you will like the music, I guess would be my message.
I know, it's a great message. It doesn't need to be anything more complicated than that, I promise.
Yeah.
Um, Leo, truly, like, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. It really does mean a lot.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Please let me do the honor of plugging your song for you one more time here.
Oh, yes, please.
Of course, if you guys missed it the first time around, the song is called "Hold On," but by the sounds of it, there's so much more in the works and on the way. We're gonna have the links in the article so that you can listen and share and follow along and just generally stay tuned for everything else. And I'm excited because, like I said, I really do sincerely love this song, and I'm looking forward to more. And I want to
You.
thank you one more time before we get going.
Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it.
You
This is
are
great.
super welcome. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope to speak soon.
Oh, thank you. You too. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
I will. Thanks. All right. I will
All right.
talk to you later. Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.